All right, so today we're diving deep into Ireland, thanks to this Love Ireland newsletter. We've got a whole bunch of articles here
The actual
covering everything from castles
castles.
to even a possible Guinness shortage before Christmas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a treasure trove of information
Ah.
for anyone who's planning a trip.
Mhm.
Or even just, dreaming of the Emerald Isle.
Absolutely. So let's start with what really jumped out at me, the Irish castles. The newsletter really sets the scene, talking about them as architectural marvels, whispering tales of power,
Yeah.
conquest, and chivalry.
Mm-hmm. You know what's really cool about these Irish castles?
What's that?
It's like they can transport you back in time. I mean, they're like physical links to the past, every single stone, whispering stories about battles and alliances and.
Lives lived within those very walls.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. Reading this newsletter, I felt this sense of adventure bubbling up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, almost like they've given us a map to experiencing Ireland, truly.
I completely agree. I think that's because of their approach. They don't
Yeah.
just give you facts and figures. They actually weave a story
Yeah.
that draws you in and it makes you want to learn more.
Absolutely. They even got me thinking about this historical mystery.
Oh.
They asked their Facebook group
Oh, right.
which castle in Limerick was built in the early 13th century by an English king.
Okay.
I gotta admit, I'm stumped.
Yeah, it's a great way to get the audience thinking more deeply
Mm-hmm.
about the history behind these amazing structures.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our listener has a clue.
Yeah, maybe. Speaking of sparking curiosity, the newsletter has this new game called Travel Quizzer.
Uh-huh.
They even give a sample question about the cliffs of Moher.
Oh, yeah. Those cliffs are just incredible. It's cool how they connect that quiz question with a recommendation to pair a visit to Bunratty Castle with a trip to the cliffs.
Yeah.
It suggests a well-thought-out plan for those who want to experience those natural wonders and those historical sites all in one go.
Yeah, I'm all about efficiency. And it sounds like the perfect mix of history
Yeah,
and those breathtaking views. They even mentioned that there are private tours from Cork
right.
for people who want a more personalized experience.
It's the level of detail that makes this newsletter so helpful. They don't just give you inspiration, they actually give you practical advice for making your trip to Ireland amazing.
Okay, so we've talked castles and cliffs, but what about that Guinness shortage?
Right.
I'm a little worried.
Yeah, so the newsletter is reporting a pretty big jump in Guinness sales in the UK before Christmas, partly because of things like those autumn rugby internationals. And it sounds like Diageo, the company that makes Guinness,
Right.
is working really hard to keep up. But there's a chance things might run low.
Oh, that's too bad. Especially
Really?
for those wanting a pint during the holidays.
It just goes to show how important it is to plan ahead, especially if you're really looking forward to certain things. If you're set on having a Guinness in Ireland,
Yeah.
it might be worth checking out some less touristy pubs or even trying local craft breweries. You might find something new you like.
That's a great point. I'm already seeing how useful this newsletter is. It's like having a friend who knows all about Ireland,
Exactly.
giving you the inside scoop.
Right. And they're even encouraging readers to upgrade to the Premium Sunday edition.
Oh, really?
Mm.
What's so special about the premium version?
Well, they're promising to go even deeper into specific regions. They'll have exclusive content, amazing photos, and hidden gems you wouldn't find in the regular one.
That sounds perfect for us.
Yeah, and they even gave us a sneak peek. They're going to be focusing on County Dublin, home of Molly Malone,
Very cool.
and all of that is cheaper than a pint at Temple Bar, as they pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you think that subscribing to this newsletter could actually save you money.
I like how you think.
Yeah.
Seems like a small price to pay for all this amazing information and inspiration.
Right, it's like having your own personal travel guide.
Speaking of guides, this newsletter is really shaping up to be the ultimate Ireland resource. What other cool things have you found?
Well, there's this awesome section called Around the Web, where they share articles from all sorts of places about all different things related to Ireland. Yeah, it's a really smart way to broaden what the newsletter covers. You've got everything from weather warnings and travel updates to stories about castles going green and the charm of some lesser-known spots.
It's like they made a mini encyclopedia for all things Ireland. All right, walk me through some of the coolest things. What caught your eye?
So one article that really stood out to me was about Storm Dara and the weather warnings for Ireland. It's a good reminder that, even the best laid plans can be messed up by things you can't control.
Right.
So it's important to stay in the loop and be ready to change things up if you need to.
That's a good point. Especially with winter travel, you got to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
What else did you find interesting?
There was one about non-EEA nationals being allowed to travel even with expired Irish residence permits, which could be super useful for some people.
Yeah.
They also talked about a winter road trip along the Causeway coastal route in Northern Ireland,
Oh, wow.
which sounds absolutely stunning.
That's going straight on my bucket list.
Right.
A scenic road trip along the coast. I'm in.
Then there's this really cool article about how they're making an 844-year-old Irish castle sustainable.
Seriously.
It's incredible how they're combining that history with being eco-friendly.
That's so cool. It sounds like they're finding ways to protect those historical places for future generations.
Exactly. And speaking of historical treasures, there was even something about Slane Castle,
Okay.
maybe being used as a filming location for The Traitors, Ireland.
Oh,
Can you imagine all that drama going down in those old walls?
right. It's like history meets reality TV in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if the Love Ireland people had something to do with it. They seem to know everything going on in Ireland.
I wouldn't be surprised. They've got this deep understanding of Irish culture. And actually, speaking of cultural insights, the newsletter mentioned that 2025 could be a really busy year for tourism.
All right. They said to book things early if you don't want to miss out. It seems like Ireland is becoming more and more popular as a travel destination.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's got such a rich history, amazing scenery, and such a welcoming culture. There's something for everyone.
Plus that undeniable Irish charm. Okay, before we get too lost in dreaming about those green hills and pubs, what else did the newsletter talk about?
Well, they highlighted a question from their social media all about the Giant's Causeway,
Okay.
asking people to share their experiences and thoughts. It's a clever way to get people talking and connect those who love Ireland.
And of course, they subtly suggest checking out their Love Ireland channel on YouTube for even more. They're really good at promoting themselves across different platforms.
Definitely. It's a good reminder that there are so many ways to share content nowadays, and those who can use all of them are the ones who really succeed.
All right, so we've covered castles, cliffs, Guinness shortages, eco-friendly castles, and even reality TV locations. What else is on the menu for our deep dive today?
Well, we can't forget about the food. The newsletter has a section called Taste of Ireland, and this time they're talking about a traditional breakfast, the Ulster fry.
Ah, yes, the Ulster fry. It's like a classic Irish experience. Who doesn't love a big breakfast to fuel you up for a day of adventures?
Right, and if you want to try making it at home, they even mention a Love Ireland cooking channel with recipes and tips.
It's those little extras that really make this newsletter so great. They don't just give you info, they actually help you experience Ireland in all its glory.
Couldn't agree more. It really shows how passionate they are about sharing the magic of Ireland with everyone.
And speaking of magic, I saw they end things with a section called The Craic, which focuses on that fun-loving side of Irish culture.
The Craic is what makes Ireland so special. It's that mix of warmth, humor, and friendly banter. It makes you feel right at home.
Exactly. It's like the heart and soul of Ireland.
Yeah.
What was the theme for this Craic section?
This time they talked about how love makes the world go round,
I love that.
which fits perfectly with their whole message of connection and shared experiences.
It really ties everything together. It's clear this newsletter is more than just articles. It's a carefully crafted experience designed to inspire, teach, and help people really appreciate Ireland.
Absolutely. They've created something really special.
So we've really explored this Love Ireland newsletter, uncovering all sorts of info, inspiration, and practical tips. As we wrap up, what are your main takeaways?
For me, it reminds us that travel is more than just ticking places off a list. It's about really experiencing a place, connecting with its people, and embracing its culture.
Yeah, and the Love Ireland newsletter is amazing at creating that kind of experience.
Yeah.
It's like they've bottled up the best parts of Ireland.
Totally. From travel tips and history to culture and food, they've got it all. It's a must-have for anyone interested in Ireland.
And they do it with so much passion, you can really feel it.
Yeah, it's contagious. They really believe in the power of travel to bring people together, and you can see that in every part of the newsletter.
Speaking of bringing people together, they've got those calls to action sprinkled throughout, encouraging people to check out their social media, try their cooking channel, and even think about that Premium Sunday edition.
It's a really smart way to get people involved at different levels, letting them choose how much they want to dive in.
Exactly. And for anyone who's ready to actually plan that Ireland trip, this newsletter is full of amazing advice and inspiration.
Yeah, it's like having a personal travel guide right in your inbox. From those potential Guinness shortages to hidden gems and unforgettable experiences, it's all there.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Love Ireland newsletter, what's the one big thing you want our listener to take away?
I'd say it's this. If you've ever even thought about experiencing the magic of Ireland, this newsletter is the perfect place to start. It's packed with info, inspiration, and practical tips, all shared with a genuine love for Ireland that's sure to spark your wanderlust.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And we really encourage you, our listener, to check out the Love Ireland newsletter. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or just curious about the Emerald Isle, it's definitely worth your time.
And one last thing to think about. We want to hear from you. If you could visit just one Irish castle, which one would it be and why? Tell us on social media and let's keep the conversation going.
Until next time, may your travels be full of wonder, and may the Crick be with you.